Hi, I'm Vishmeet Kaur, and today I would be talking about coffee culture. So you have seen in every corner of the street a coffee shop. Some people are there to quench their thirst for caffeine, or some people are there to meet new people, or sit and do their work, or some people are just there to get a glass of Starbucks and have like a social norm. But do you all know, however, imagine where it all started from? So it all started and originated in 700 AD by a ghost herder in Ethiopia, where he noticed his goats becoming suddenly energetic after eating the berries from a certain tree. He talked about it in the local monastery, who made a drink with those berries and found that it kept him alert for long hours of evening prayers. And mocha today to us sounds like coffee and chocolate, but it was actually the port mocha where coffee made its way north from Red Sea, Ethiopia into Yemen in 15th century. And from there it became very famous in Middle Eastern countries like Egypt, Persia, and Turkey. Coffee was also called wine of Arabia, and various coffee houses opened in Arabia and became the epicenter of social activity. In 1500s, the court of Mecca actually declared coffee to be a forbidden drink due to its stimulating effect. And even there were riots broke out until justice was returned to the coffee drinker people in Arabia. Then coffee made its way to India and the Asian continent when Baba Budan, a Sufi saint from India, was on a pilgrimage to Mecca in about 1670s, who smuggled some fertile beans back to India and began coffee cultivation. From there, it became famous to countries like Indonesia and South Asian countries. Coffee finally arrived in Venice, Europe in 1570s and became quite popular, and coffee houses sprung all over the Europe in England, Austria, France, Germany, and Holland. Pope Clement VIII even gave it to glory of the beverage when it baptized it and declared it as a Christian beverage. In Oxford, England's first coffee club opened, and the Oxford Coffee Club eventually grew to become the Royal Society. It was a go-to place for Englishmen if they were not working or not at pub. They were always drinking coffee and engaging in religious and political discussions. A woman actually signed petition against coffee and in an attempt to ban coffee and bring their men back home. Then coffee came to South American continent when a French Navy man actually apparently stole some coffee plantation from Europe and sailed to Caribbean where he planted and grew coffee in ideal conditions. And from there it became famous in Caribbean and Central and South America. It even reached Brazil from there. Finally, coffee made its way to North America in about 18th century through Boston Tea Party and the American Revolution. A group of patriots, as seen in the image, snuck aboard English tea ships sitting in the Boston harbor and dumped all the tea into the ocean to rebel against the English tax on tea and started consuming coffee more. And that's how USA today got its coffee. So initially, coffee was not like a latte or like black coffee. It started when Turks cooked their coffee cherries in a pot over a fire, creating the first coffee maker. The Arabs were the first to use the green coffee bean alone. After removing the pulp and skin, they would crush the green beans and mix them with water to make their coffee drink. Then, after that, French discovered infusion brewing, in which you would place coffee beans inside a cloth bag and then submerge the bag in hot water, just like tea. And when the coffee is strong enough, or according to how you prefer, you take the bag out and can enjoy a cup of coffee. Then came the espresso machine, and it was originated like in Italy and French area, where you force hot pressurized water through a ground coffee and a filter. The result is a thick, concentrated coffee. And today, the drinks which you see, like lattes and cappuccinos, is the result of espressos. Um, so Alfred Peel was a Dutch American whose father roasted coffee in Holland, and he opened the first coffee shop called Peet's Coffee in Berkeley, California in 1966. And it was the early stage of specialty coffee. Actually, few of the friends of Peet's stole his techniques and opened their own store, which is called Starbucks in Seattle, where they roasted and mimicked the store layout. So Starbucks was opened in early 70s in Pike Place in Seattle, in Washington. Howard Schultz, a salesman who had been selling drip coffee maker, who joined as Starbucks as director of marketing, got inspired by Milan and Italian coffee experience of coffee houses, and then created Starbucks, not just a roasting place, but they also started selling brewed coffee and made it into a local gathering spots. The first automatic drip coffee maker was Mr. Coffee was introduced by Ohio entrepreneur Vincent. And then as seen in the coffee, it became a coffee in like TV shows like Friends. Coffee places became a place of social gatherings, and people come there to chill out and not really have just coffee, but to hang out with friends. And from there, the aesthetic of a coffee shop started coming up, and nowadays people go to shops just to chill and hang around and get all the atmosphere in. People even started talking about coffee benefits, like it helps to reduce like burn fat, reduce heart diseases, have energy, reduce Alzheimer, reduce cancer, diabetes. But everything needs to be taken in less quantities. Coffee too much can be addictive, and we all at one point in our life as a college student have experienced that. Also, coffee is like a social norm. Like if you want to ask someone out or you want to like meet someone for the first time, uh, asking someone for like, would you go out a coffee with me is a social norm. It's not too casual, it's not too formal. So it's like a middle ground of like meeting new people, catching over a cup of coffee, and making new relationships. Last but not the least, we as a college student have always seen this scene. Bunch of us studying, having bunch of caffeine around us, and trying to stay up at night. And that's like a total college tradition which we can see in 20th century these days. So that was about coffee culture. I hope you understood, like learned something new about coffee today. Thank you.